Okay, beautiful. All right. It's 7:30 on the dot. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are all welcome to the Aspire for Excellence Foundation. Thank you very much for taking out time this evening to join us on this, I would say, special edition. Okay. Tonight, we will be having a session titled The Entrepreneurial Journey, the Starter's Toolkit. Okay. And it will be anchored by no other person tonight than Mrs. Ijoma Obi. Mrs. Ijoma Obi is right here present with us. Can you say hello to us, Mrs. Ijoma Obi, please? Okay.
Hello, everybody.
All right. Good evening. Thank you very much for being here with us this evening. We're going to start. All right. So, George, I think you can take the bio for Mrs. Ijoma Obi as we start now. Okay. I will share.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, all. Our guest today, Mrs. Ijoma Obi, is academically trained as an animal scientist in both undergraduate and postgraduate levels. She's a woman of many parts. She's an ex-banker with over 12 years retail banking experience in micro, small, and medium-scale business management across 3 Nigerian commercial banks. She's a serial entrepreneur with personal startup experiences in over 28 various businesses spanning across various sectors of our economy. She's currently the founder of Haniel Integrated Enterprises, an agri-business into edible oil merchandising. She's the CEO of Love and Grace Integrated Ventures, a fashion business into female ready-to-wear apparel production and key distributor of synthetic hair products for Darling Nigeria and large Nigerian companies in Ikeja. I'm currently the convener of Rachael Mbaegbu Entrepreneurial Resources, a skill acquisition and business training center for youth. Mrs. Ijoma Obi's guiding philosophy is that integrity, competence, and excellence are the best combinable keys to achieving life's goal. Her mission and deep-seated passion is to help young people achieve their business dreams, fulfill divinely assigned goals, and maximize their God-given potential in Nigeria, irrespective of their status in life. She's a prolific writer and a business enthusiast who loves to work with youths and professionals at a peak performance coach. Having started her personal business experience at an early age of 18 years with her sewing business, she is passionate about young people learning offline and online skills and monetizing them through business skills and financial literacy. She's married to a wonderful man, engineer Ifeanyi Obi, and is blessed with children. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George. And without much ado, I guess we have to start now. So, Mrs. Ijoma Obi, the floor is open for you. Okay, you'll be taking questions. You'll be taking answers, a question and answer session at the end. So you have up to 8:30 thereabout for your presentation. The floor is yours, madam. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ijoma Obi, and I help people to start up well on their entrepreneurial journey. Who is laughing over there? With the least probability of failure. And I do this by helping them alleviate their fears and get to know the opportunities available in the emerging economy like ours. So as you know, a lot of people have challenges starting the businesses or transitioning from their 9-to-5 jobs to owning their businesses. So what I do is to guide them to exploring opportunities available in our economy here, in our environment, with Nigeria as a case study, and also to know how to survive with the least probability of failure in our economy. So today, I'm going to definitely show you how to become successful in your business endeavors and show you the business opportunities that are available in Nigeria and, of course, the steps to starting your own businesses. If you are with us or if you are with me and you can hear me, can I see a wave of your hand, please? Can I see a wave of your hand if you can hear me?
Well, with
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Great.
So without wasting much of a time, let's just start off. Basically, what is entrepreneurship? Someone may ask. Entrepreneurship is nothing other than identifying business opportunities in your environment, taking calculated risk, and creating value through innovation and business. Are you with us? Okay. So that's basically what entrepreneurship is all about. The whole world, the mystery about it is not something that is so difficult to understand. It's just about creating value. See where there's a problem, offer solution to it through innovation. What's the current way of solving that problem? And when you do that, you've created value. Do you understand? And you get payments in exchange for your value. Simply what entrepreneurship is all about. So a few years ago, I was speaking to a friend about starting businesses in Nigeria, and she kept complaining that Nigeria is the worst place to start a business. She talked about the corruption in the society. She talked about the power failure we have. She talked about the bad road. She just read out all the bad things that we have going for us. And I told her, with all these bad things you mean, how come the Chinese keep coming in drones and refuse to go? It means that there's something they are seeing that probably we are not seeing. And I started explaining to her that this is because a lot of us have shrouded our mind with some misconceptions about entrepreneurship. So let me quickly talk about some misconceptions people have about it. People believe when you have part of your business or you venture into entrepreneurship, you have all the freedom in the world and your work is less. I wish that was true. In actual sense, when you start up your business, you work more. 24 hours round the clock, even if when you have systems in place, because you control the system while the system controls the people. So you are always working. It doesn't give you, yes, it gives you the freedom to manage your time, but you still work. Another conception people have about entrepreneurship is that you must have large sum of money to venture into it. And I always tell people, the people I mentor, even when I go to the university to talk to students, I tell them you can actually start a business in Nigeria with zero naira, which I will tell you how. The other confusion people have is that, okay, you must be born from a wealthy family, your parents must be very rich. And I tell them, no. Okay, are we together?
Yes, we are together. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was talking about the misconceptions people have about entrepreneurship, and I said that while talking to my friend, he was reading out a whole lot of problems we have in Nigeria concerning starting a business, and she mentioned about the bad roads, mentioned about the lack of power, mentioned about the corruption, and all the things we of course know. And I told her that hadn't she ever wondered why the Chinese and the Indians keep coming into this nation, and of course the Lebanese as well, and they refuse to go? What is it that they see here that we that are here don't see, and we want to get out? We don't even want to give it a try. With all the issues we have surrounding us, all the challenges we have that she mentioned, people are still coming in here despite the prevailing challenges. And I told her that because we have a lot of misconceptions in the sense of, one, entrepreneurship, for someone to venture into entrepreneurship, you must come from a very wealthy family or you must have so much money. Two, people have the notion that if they eventually become entrepreneurs or venture into businesses, that they wouldn't have so much work to do. And I told them no, that these are common misconceptions people have. In fact, as being an entrepreneur or entrepreneurship, you work more. 24 hours round the clock, you are working. You're either controlling people or you're controlling the system that controls people. So there is work. And I also told her that another misconception people have is that you have so much freedom at your hand once you become an entrepreneur. And I said, no, that's also another misconception people have. Yes, you have freedom to manage your timing, but then you don't have freedom for not working. So these are challenges we have when it comes to the misconception people have concerning entrepreneurship. All right? All right. So, and I told them that the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship is that there's a formula given to us, and that for you to be able to succeed in entrepreneurship here in Nigeria, you must have certain characteristics, you must have certain qualities that will guarantee your success. One, being that you must be able to see vision, have a vision of what you want to achieve, who you want to serve, and why you are venturing into entrepreneurship. So that's basically what the vision is all about. If you don't have a vision onto why you are starting this business, what do you intend to achieve? Then definitely failure is imminent. But so if you have a vision of why you are venturing into entrepreneurship, what do you intend to fulfill in that venture or in that enterprise? What is your purpose for coming in? You see that the vision you have will enable you to set goals to achieve the reason why you are in business. The vision you have will inspire you to keep pushing forward, even when finances are not coming as expected. Because of course, in the world of entrepreneurship, you feel with uncertainties. You don't know what tomorrow will be. You don't know who will patronize you tomorrow. You don't even know whether you are going to get the business deal you're expecting or not. But with the vision you have, vision will enable you to develop the balls or the resilience to keep pushing forward, believing that tomorrow will be better. So that's what vision does. After vision, the next characteristics or qualities you need is the resilience and perseverance to push. What do we mean by resilience or perseverance? Just the ability to bounce back. Oh yes, I remember when I started my business, the very first business I had, I failed woefully in it. And of course, even the ones I thought would be successful, I've failed in many business ventures. But then we bounce back. So this is why I always tell people, start small. When you start small, your failure rate is small. Just like someone that is already near to the ground. When you fall, your height of failure will not be that much. You can easily bounce back up. Than when you start on a very large scale, the probability of failure will be high, especially at that startup phase, which is the trial and error stage. So this is what resilience does. It gives you the stamina to bounce back from your failures. All right. Now, because you are resilient, you'll be able to acquire skills that will enable you to venture and to continue in the business. It will enable you to have the model, have the business model you need to work with. It will give you guidance and to seek mentors that will guide you in the business you are having. These are the things resilience does, and of course, perseverance does for you in business. After resilience, you now talk about adaptability and flexibility. Now, this is where a lot of entrepreneurs miss it, which is a very good skill and characteristics that every successful entrepreneur in Nigeria has. Adaptability and flexibility. For example, when last year we had the cash issue, where cash was not available. Now, those who were able to adapt, their business is scaled. Remember that even online banks emerged swiftly. At least I know that OPay came up when the other commercial banks were having problems with cash issue. Online banks came up. So this is what adaptability and flexibility does. Being able to be malleable, being able to be flexible. It's not just, okay, this is how we've been doing it. This is how my father did it when he ran a business. You must be flexible. Change with the dynamics of times. It is said that the strongest is not the strongest of animals that survive, but that animal which is quick to adapt to the changing of times and events is the one that survives. There used to be a time when in the movie industry, you will be hearing 51 Iweka Road. That's how they call it. Up Iweka Road, Pound Street, whenever you're watching movies. And yesterday I was discussing with my husband. I was like, where are those people now? Online streaming, Netflix have taken over. So how come? What if those people change with the times? They would have been relevant till today. So in entrepreneurship, you must be able to adapt to the changing of times. You must be flexible. All right. So then, the next thing we have as the next characteristics is self-confidence and self-belief. Believe you me, when you start a business, you will have 1,001 people that will tell you that it's not possible. Nobody has done it before. Those who did it failed. What do you guarantee that you will succeed? If you listen to them, you will fail. So you must have that. That's why I still go back to the first characteristic vision. Why did you start the business? If you have the vision and the purpose of why you started the business, you will have an inner conviction within you. I identify myself as a Christian and as a child of God. And one thing I strongly believe in, depending on God for guidance. When you depend on God for guidance, God will give you an inner belief. So, okay, yes, this is the way to go. Venture into it. Even if you end up seeing darkness, somehow within you, you will know that that darkness is not the end of the road. It may actually be a bend. So you must have self-confidence. Self-confidence gives you the enthusiasm and the conviction that yes, you're on the right path. Self-confidence gives you the ability to face oncoming challenges. When I started my palm oil business, for example, I know a whole lot of people, even family members, that told me, a banker, you are venturing into palm oil business, which is a very dirty business. I heard a whole lot of discouraging words. But then, one of the reasons why I pulled through was because I saw the turnover of, as being a bank, the advantage of that, I saw the turnover of the amount of money those who were in that sector were eating out. And I was like, this is a very good business. If only, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes, we can hear you.
okay then. So I was like, if only people would see what is in this. Food business sells. But then everybody around me, including family members, didn't see it as a promising business. They thought it was a rudimentary thing. Businesses that people that are not educated go into. Now, if I didn't have an inner conviction or self-belief, I would have quit. But then this is 15 years going and we're still running the business. So you must have that characteristics. Now, what self-confidence does is also enable you to convince the people you work with, including your vendors, okay? And of course, your market and your customers. If you don't believe in what you are selling, if you don't believe in your product, if you don't believe in your services, how will you be able to convince somebody to believe in you and to purchase from you? So this is why you must have self-confidence. The next characteristics you need in being a successful entrepreneur is continuous learning. Oh yes. For me, even till this day, in all the sectors I play, I learn. You cannot be stuck up in the past. And this is where I still have a problem when I go to universities to talk. The last talk I had was in Kogi State University, and I discussed with the entrepreneurial department. There's a department that handles entrepreneurship, the School of Entrepreneurship. And I told them that one of the challenges we have in our academic environment here is that we teach students past solutions that worked in the past that are not relevant in today's economy. They're not relevant in the marketplace of today. Why? Because time is dynamic. Time changes. Innovation comes up every day. So you have to be continuously learning. And this is what entrepreneurship does to you. When you're in an environment where you are dishing out values, the onus is on you to know what is the new thing, because your customers are looking for the new solution. So you can't be stuck up in the past. You have to improve yourself daily, adapting to the dynamics in the changing landscape. You have to also foster innovation. For example, if I come to a customer and I'm into cleaning services, and I tell the customer, I'll use broom to sweep your house. That's how we've been doing this in the old times. But then imagine if I come to the customer and I'll be like, okay, sweeping your house, rendering that kind of a service will take me about 2 hours to clean the up and the down if it were to be a duplex. But then, with this kind of innovation, within a sprinkle of 30 minutes, I am done. With these two kind of services, do you think the customer will patronize? Your guess is as good as mine. The person that is innovative, that knows the latest trend. So as an entrepreneur, irrespective of whatever sector you are playing on, you must understand and know the new innovations that is in there. All right? So these are basically things when it comes to continuous learning. Then of course, you should be able to communicate well. Communicate well. Communicate, effective communication. While in the bank, there were lots of customers that had issues with some people. What was the problem? They didn't understand what the person was communicating. You communicated the pricing of your business to the customer, but you didn't communicate the terms and the conditions attached to that pricing. So for you to be an effective entrepreneur in today's marketplace, you must be able to communicate well. It doesn't have to be in English. Whatever tongue that is comfortable with you, communicate perfectly in that tongue or that language. Then of course, you should be able to foster relationship. When it comes to fostering relationship, I tell people you don't have to be an extrovert. Introverts have their ways of communicating too, or fostering relationship. In fact, I love the way introverts communicate and foster relationship. They are not on the large scale basis. They are more on the one-on-one levels. They come to you, they get to know you, and they build relationship that way. They get to the next person. While an extrovert may be within a space of 30 minutes, have bubbled up and gotten to know a lot of people in the house. So it doesn't matter what your temperament is. You can actually be effective and grow in the marketplace as an entrepreneur. So what effective communication does is to help you to articulate your vision well, communicate your vision well. Why are you doing that business? You'll be able to talk to your customers about it. You'll be able to communicate in the language they will understand. Now, language is power. When you're able to communicate in the language people understand, it builds trust. We call them the KTL factor. They'll get to know you, they'll get to trust you, and they'll get to like you. And once these factors are ticked, there's no way the customer will not stick to you in business. So of course, to communicate well with people, you can collaborate with them. You can run more businesses with them, and you can engage the customer better. All right. So this is one good thing about effective communication, which effective communication, the next characteristics every good entrepreneur talks about communication, talks about resilience, and I've talked about relationship building. Next slide, please. That's fine. So when I was not saying that a lot of businesses fail within the first 2 years of their startup. The research has shown that so many businesses fail within the first 2 years of their startup. And I let people know that it's not the sector you are working in that makes you fail the business. The reason why a lot of people fail in business could be either one, they have the lack understanding of the industry they are operating in. Number two, they don't have the knowledge, the financial knowledge they require to run their businesses. Or number three, don't have the business skills they lacking. So if you're able to tick these boxes, number one, the business skill or the sector you're operating in, and the three, having the good grip or knowledge of financial language or financial education, you'll be able to succeed. Once you pass the first 2 years of starting up your business, there's no reason why your success rate will not be high. Your failure rate reduced. We have in Nigeria, and I said every sector in Nigeria has challenges in it, and that's a very huge opportunity for a lot of enterprises to come up. Wherever you look at, you will see challenges. On our roads, there are challenges. Or in the power sector, there's a challenge. In the health sector, there's a challenge. In the educational sector, there's a challenge. Every sector has a challenge. And wherever you see these challenges is an opportunity for people to venture into a business of providing solutions. And I said in the health sector, for example, we all know how much it is to get good and quality healthcare. What is for there's a possibility, or it's possible for people to sit in the comfort of their homes. You just have malaria or typhoid or whatever it is, you don't know what it is, and you just log onto the system, chat up a doctor that will ask you maybe through online video conferencing, get to know what your symptoms are, and give you a prescription without you leaving the comfort of your homes. At least the number of people that crowd our medical facilities. Okay, those are the opportunities we have, for example, in the health sector. Provide the solution and people will come in. It is a position for you to provide solutions that will enable the high net worth individuals, instead of flying abroad, they can get quality health care here. Give them if you must, if you must. But they, the amount of money they take outside, they'll be able to give it to you in exchange. Like I said, we have over 200 million people. Now imagine if you're offering a service in this country, in the health sector, where you're just paying 1% of 200 million. Now, a number of people you are serving, why would you complain of not being able to live a good life in the country? That's just in the health sector. And I said, okay, how about the education sector? Of course, we all know the challenges imminent in the educational sector. Must schooling be the way it usually should be? Overseas, a lot of people have homeschooling, where teachers come to the house, they teach children school curriculums. Then after that, they take the students to the well-structured schools where they register them for the entrance. They just gather a few kids, take them at home. When it's time for them to take their senior WAEC or their JAM, they register them in the regular conventional schools. And they take their entrances their way. Now, you can imagine if I were a trained teacher and I have these two students that I'm teaching, of course, I wouldn't have it to depend on my salary. I've started a business offering value in exchange for it. So that is even just on the education sector. The agricultural sector has a huge potential in it. While in Kogi State, for example, I was helping, okay, I wouldn't call it a senior friend, but somebody I was known way back while I was in the bank. And she has over 360 hectares of land in Kogi State. I saw huge potential in the agri sector. Incidentally, it's untapped. And a whole lot of you to be like, okay, they don't have money to start up. And I was like, what if you go to the chief or the ballet or the eze or the Sariki or whoever the traditional ruler of the village is, and you go into a partnership with them, cultivate, take them as stakeholders, you will see that a whole lot of opportunities will come up in the agri sector. The same has to do with our transportation sector, our housing sector, our oil and gas sector, tourism sector, power, security, public services. Every sector in this nation is loaded with challenges that is giving opportunities for us to provide value in exchange for money or payments for our services or for our products. So this is a huge for us to tap into. Incidentally, foreigners are all coming to take these things away from us while we are looking for paid employment. There's nothing wrong with looking for paid employment if that is where you are at, but you don't have to remain there. I started as an entrepreneur. Okay, yes, I started as an entrepreneur at an early age. I think I was about 17 when I started with sewing. We haven't learned from a Ghanaian to sew. I went into the university. While I was schooling, I was gathering clothes for my fellow students during end of each semester. I will take them. I will get tailors by the rate. That was even before I got my own machine. I will hire the machines. I will make the clothes there. I will take it back to the students. From there, I started learning how to make cake while as a student. So these are examples of huge opportunities. Everywhere you look around you, people eat, people clothe, people house themselves. People need one services or the other. Even if they're existing service, okay, somebody's already providing that class. How can I make it easier for people to reach? How can I make it more abundant for people? How can I make it better? How can I package it in a better way? There's always a problem with anything somebody is doing right now that you can innovate on. So these are the, a whole lot of opportunities to the ground one. How do I now start? Okay, I've seen a sector I want to venture into. that there's a problem. Take note of that problem. So now you want to run a market research on it. Who are those already present in that sector? Who are they? How large are they? What market share are they holding? Is there any space for you there? These are things market research does for you. Secondly, you also ask yourself, the players are existing in that place. What can you do better than what they are doing now? Take note of this. With all answers, you can now start what we call a business plan by fleshing out the reason why you are in that. A business plan helps you to know your mission and your vision statement. What do I mean by mission and vision statement? Why are you there in that industry? Why are you playing in that industry? How do you intend to achieve your vision? That's actually, in a nutshell, what your mission is. Do you want to offer innovative services? Do you want to offer speedy services? Do you want to offer cheaper services? These are all things that can help you form what your mission is. So the future you are looking at, who you want to become, why you are in that industry is your vision. How you intend to achieve what you have already marshaled out in your head to do is your mission. Note this down. In that industry or in that sector, in that niche, who are your target markets? For example, I play in the hair industry. I don't sell to everybody in the hair industry, synthetic hair industry. I purposely went to synthetic hair because a lot of people are basically in raw hair, virgin hair, human hair industry. And I said, okay, that's already what they call it, a red ocean market filled with so many sharks, everybody grabbing for market share. Let me just generally go to synthetic hair. It's not everybody that is human hair. So I asked myself, what is the percentage of people that are using synthetic hair? I found out the number, and I said to serve that market. Actually, the people that are using it, I said to focus on just hair salon owners. And from Ikeja, we've been expanding. Hair salon owners, offering them solutions, offering them products and services. That's the niche I decided to play in. And there are few of us in that area. So we're not competing and dragging and tearing ourselves. So these are things, you get to know right down in your market, in your business plan. Who are you going to work with? Who are your vendors? Who are your suppliers? These are things you write down. Okay, so those are things that have to do with, and how much are you starting the business with? So those are things that you write down in your business plan. Then of course you get to registering the business. Before you register the business, there's something I tell people. First, get what we call the minimum viable product or your service. Now you have decided what you want to do is start small, produce a little, or start the service a little. Start with your friends and relations. Start with the people around you. Let them give you their honest opinion about what you want, because you can actually produce something that nobody will pay for. In your mind, you have a very huge idea that this is going to rock the world. Only for you to bring it out to the market, nobody buys it. And this is actually a reason why a lot of businesses fail. But if you start with small, with what we call the minimum viable product, I recommend it could be asking 100 people of their opinion. There's no way 100 people will mislead you. And I know each of us on our contacts on our phone, at least you must have 100 people you can communicate with. It doesn't matter if you give it to them for free. Charge them or offer your product for them. They'll give you their honest opinion. They'll give you how much it is worth. Then you can now decide to say, okay, these are the areas I need my improvement on. So when you launch, people will take you serious because why? You have done your homework first. So at this level, you sell the first prototype of your service or the first prototype of your product. When you get the feedback from it, when you get people coming for it, and of course, there's something I always tell people. You know you're in business when you have repeat customers. Yes, somebody can see what you're selling, offline or online, pay for it, and decide, okay, that's not what I expected. And they never come back. You now see yourself going around the circles of looking for new customers, that drag. It can be wearying. So, but what keeps your business alive is when you have repeat customers. You offer the product, you offer the service, and they came back for more. Then you know you're in business. So this is where we now talk about offering quality products.
offering quality services, not settling for mediocrity. I cannot kill myself syndrome. If you must succeed in it as an entrepreneur, number one, your yes should be your yes. And that's why I talk about integrity. If you tell people, okay, I'll be there by 7, please be there by 7. If there's any reason why you will not be by 7, call them ahead of time to let them know the change in plans. And please compensate them for that. Next time, they will come back for you. But in a situation where you don't care, you try reaching them out, they were not able to come in, next time they wouldn't. And I tell people that for every customer you lose, you have a potential of losing 4 more. For every customer you gain 4 more. Let us give an advice, because for those of us that knew when GTB started, at least I was in the university when GTB started, GT didn't come with huge adverts like most other commercial accounts with GTB. Why? Word of mouth. Have you seen this? Yeah, this bank is excellent, this bank is this, and that's why a lot of people started rushing to open accounts with GTB. So I tell people, leave the first impression of every customer you meet. It's not that the customer will want to come back. That has to do with your product and services. That has to do with the quality of your customer interaction. What do the customers feel? How do you lead them? What quality of service do they receive when they interact with you? So these are things that make or mar your business. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to brand identity. You must develop your brand. What differentiates you from another brand? Like somebody will always say that if McDonald's were to be the same as Kentucky Fried Chicken, why would somebody go to McDonald's? Why would somebody go to Kentucky Fried Chicken? Bringing it home here, if I were to go to Sweet Sensation and Sweet Sensation rice, I'm not trying to promote a brand here, but I'm just using that as a case study. If I were to go to Sweet Sensation and the rice I eat in Sweet Sensation is the same quality with what I eat in Mr. Biggs, why do I need to go to Mr. Biggs? Why do I need to go to Sweet Sensation? I might as well settle for one of them. But the reason why I can eat in Mr. Biggs and I can also go to Sweet Sensation and eat is because what Sweet Sensation gives me is different from what Mr. Biggs gives me. And I ask you, when you want to start a business, what are you bringing in different from what others are selling? How is your product different from what other product that is available out there? Your brand identification. All right. So the next one now is just your products, where you source your services. These are important things you need to put on ground. If your service is anchored on one supplier, if your service is anchored on one customer, the day that customer comes, hello, are we together?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Yes, we are together. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, sorry. So if your product is anchored on one supplier, if your core product is anchored on one customer, the day that supplier, you catch cold. The day that sells, you catch cold. And that's the reason why I tell people, have a whole vast of them. When you're starting up a business, for example, maybe you want to go into importation of doors from China. You have one source that brings in the materials you need to couple your doors here now, because I don't think that the embargo on furniture has been lifted, so you must produce locally. So, but you can source your kitchens and everywhere from wherever you want. Now, imagine if it's only one customer in China, and maybe the person dies or the business folds. It's going to affect your business. So, but then if you have many vendors that you are having your business relationship with, your rate of survival is higher. These are people that are buying from you. So these are things you must work out for when you are starting a business. The next thing you also consider when you are starting a business is your production and operation processes. What number of staff are you starting with? Are you producing in-house or you are sourcing your production? And that has to also do with the vendors you are working with. How do you hold them responsible so they don't cause rounding up here anyway? So we were talking about settling your production and your operation processes. Kylie Jenner, one of the Kardashian family members in the US, she's into cosmetics. One thing I love about that lady is she has about 7 stars. and she was quoted by Forbes to be one of the richest women under 30. And when I was reading her profile and studying her, I found out that she chose the online market direct to customer for her transactions. She outsourced her production, they bring it for her, she sells online. She didn't encumber herself with so much workload as staff, and she was able to achieve her success. So, understanding the operational process you must involve yourself with, in able to have a seamless production process and your sales funnel is very important. Then, of course, you should have quality control. Who are those checking what you have done? In-house, external, ensure that you have whatever your service you are rendering or your product you are rendering, it has uniformity. So whatever the customer experience is today, when the customer comes in tomorrow, the person is going to experience the same thing, if not better. So that's why you need to ensure that your quality control is put in place. Then, of course, your distribution and your sales channel. How will customers reach out to you? Are they coming to your shop? Are they coming to different distribution channels? Are they coming to your online platform? How do you intend to people to find you? How do you intend your customers to get you easily and seamlessly? These are things you must take into cognizance when you are starting up your business. Then, of course, your marketing and promotion. Somebody said that if you blink in the dark, nobody sees you. So imagine if you are trying to woo a lady or a fine girl and you are winking and all your wings, she's not seeing you. Why? Because you are in the dark. This is what marketing and promotion does. It projects you for the customers to see you. So how do you intend people to see you? Referral marketing, word of mouth, online. In online, are you using online advertisements or are you using influencers? How do you expect people to see you in the marketplace? These are things you must sort out when it comes to marketing and promotion. Of course, financial management, this is the part I love most. Managing your records. A lot of businesses fail because they don't keep records. You buy something or you are rendering a service, you are not tabulating how much you have made, you are not tabulating how much you charge, you are not incorporating your costs, you are not bringing in how much you spent for the business to run the business. So you don't even know when you are making a profit or when you are making a loss. So this is the reason why you must get to know about these things. Your financials. Then, of course, your customer service. What experience do you want your customer to be left with when they come to you? Focus on excellence. Excellence will never derail you. The best you can offer. Focus on that with every customer. Then, of course, when it comes, these are things that help you with the startup phase. Then you now talk about growth. That's when you talk about scaling and expansion. I tell people lots of businesses miss it out at this mismanaged, a lot of businesses have hitches at this stage when it comes to scaling or expanding. Why? They've not put in the structures and features that enable them expand, and they just want to expand. So during your scaling process, you must know what are the assets you need that will enable you to scale. Then, of course, your networking and, of course, your ability to evolve. These are all the steps you should have put in place to enable you to start up your business. Now we get to the big one. Where do you get money from to start up your business? A whole lot of people ask this question. And I start by saying, start with your savings. When I was in the bank, I hardly spent money on suits. Those of them that knew me always laughed at my suits. Were they clean? Yes. Were they comfortable? Yes. But I never changed so much of my wardrobe. Why? Because I had a target when I went in there. I entered the industry to gain experience. I entered the industry to save money, to start up my businesses. So I had a target. I had a vision. And I wasn't ready for anything to derail me for that. So with all the savings I was able to make from the day one to the last day I left, some I was putting in investment banking accounts, so the interest can be compounded. I was putting in different investments to compound my interest in my savings. So when I left because I've amassed enough that will be able to sustain me while my business is growing. So I will tell you, start with your savings. Meanwhile, if you have your savings, you can actually go to your family and friends to beg them for money. When I was in Ibadan as an undergraduate student, I needed to get my first international passport. And they told me then that I needed to pay them 30,000 naira. I didn't have 30,000 naira with me. What did I do? I had 2,000 naira first in my savings. So all the people I knew, including, I was staying in my uncle's house then, including Ralph, my uncle's son, I went to borrow them money from them. While going, all of that just told me, please, can I borrow 500 naira from you? I'll pay you back 600 naira after a month. And of course, people were willing to borrow me funds. So your family and friends, if your family and friends don't trust you to part money with you, then you need to go back and check yourself. Start with that. Then of course, someone is laughing. Yes, yes. If they can, because they're the first people that should trust you. If the family and friends don't trust you, why should an outsider trust you? Why should an outsider trust your business? Why should an outsider trust your words? They're the first people that will patronize, they should patronize you. So but the problem is that a lot of us have how will I use this word now? We've massacred our reputation when it comes to family and friends. We've collected money or pocketed the change, we didn't return change. And then they won't trust us. If somebody gives you 1,000 naira and you return the 1,000 naira as he said, when you come back to that person and ask for 5,000 naira, the person will give you. Because what? You were faithful with the little that was given to you. So the person has trust that you're faithful with the much. And the person doesn't have. The person does not mind going out to borrow on your behalf to make sure you start up. Long story short, that was how I was able to raise 30,000 naira in 1 week. And that principle taught me a whole lot. So all the things I was able to raise, the funds I was able to raise to venture into different things, I raised from family and friends. And I paid them back with interest. The reason is this. People, naturally, all human beings, hello?
Yes, hello. Yes, we are
Naturally,
here with you.
Hi.
beings, including
Yeah, we do.
myself,
Can hear you.
human beings, including myself, we fend for ourselves first. So if I have idle money in my phone, in my account, and somebody comes to me that please lend me this money, and after a month I will give it back to you with 1% interest. Okay, let's be more practical. 5% interest. Banks give 2% and they don't even pay monthly. And somebody comes with me, give me this money, I will give you 4% interest. That's double whatever bank is giving me. I will agree. But my fear is, will the person pay me back? And that's what is holding a lot of us from raising capital for business. So family and friends are the easiest people to help raise you finances for your business. The next set of places you can get money from, I think I've lost the slide, is grants. Grants. There are a lot of research institutions here and there that can probably take interest in the sector you are working with. So when you have started your business and you have actually kickstart or you want it, they think, okay, your idea is novel, we like this, we can see it play out well, and they give you money for it. Grants. Then of course, you can also bootstrap. Start small, plunge back your profits back into your business. You know, like in my own businesses, when I charge my profits, I charge out of my profit a percentage that goes into the savings for the business. And it's all the monies I've made from the savings of my business I use for my expansion. So bootstrap helps you finance your businesses as well. So crowdfunding, get some friends here and there, or well-wishers, or it could even be people on the Facebook, we don't know, but people who have trust or hope or share the vision of what business you are venturing into. So they become stakeholders. Okay, yeah, I can commit my resources into this. I think it's worth trying. And you gather the funds together and start up the business. Then finally, you can also get funds from angel investors. A whole lot of businesses I started as an angel investor. Somebody on my street that I feel, okay, this person could be very good in the business they want to do into, and I go in. How much do you need to start up this business? And they tell me, I said, okay, fine. I'll give this amount of money, pay me back within so and so period. And that's it. It could also be, okay, I need a share of so and so, percentage in your business for the next 2 years. And after that, I hands off. So they're all investors, they're coming in to be to support you in your business. For startup, please, I do not encourage borrowing money from banks. Yes, I worked in that industry for 12 years and I saw a whole lot of people's business go haywire because they couldn't pay the interest element. The startup phase of your business is like a trial and error stage. You do not have an what we call an experience or a reference upon which your repayment is based. Let me give you an example. If you started your business and you said, okay, that from projection of what I have done so far, I have 20 customers, and these 20 customers in my business pay me so and so amount every month. You have gotten a data upon which your projection is based. With that data, banks have confidence that they will give you the loan and you will pay back, and that's why they charge interest. But in a situation where you don't have this data, and you go to a bank for a loan, and next month, what you assumed will happen in the business didn't happen, how do you intend to service the loan? Your business starts dying that way, your business starts crumbling. So please, when you want to raise finances for your business, start with your personal savings, family and friends. If you can have angel investors to come in, beautiful. If you can have grants to come in, beautiful. If you can pull funds together from people on the internet space or your work colleagues or whoever shares in interest in what you are doing, beautiful. You can source for money from crowds, and so that we call crowdfunding, and start your business. But please, for startup levels, don't go to the banks. You can go to the banks at the expansion level, and because that's actually what it's supposed to be, using other people's money to finance your business, but that's actually at the growing stage. Okay, so I don't know if we have any questions or whether I've been able to at least demystify this whole concept of entrepreneurship. Does anybody have any questions? I'm all ears.
Right. Thank you very much. I think we need to give you a round of applause, please. Could you please?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
First of all, if you could please give her a digital round of applause.
Thank you.
We will take the question and answer sessions now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have a number of questions, I would say. I'm going through the chat box to see if we have questions.
Okay.
All right. So we'll come with the questions, and we have 2 hands up already. In the meantime, John Chukwemeka, you have any information to pass? There are a number of. Let me see if we have some questions here in the chat box. Okay. All right. We have a number of people who have raised their hands up. First of all, if you want to have access to the slides and to the materials, please go to the chat box. You would see the WhatsApp group. Click on the WhatsApp group, the message from Kenneth Digital, okay? We're going to share the materials there, I would say, at the end of the session, sometime tomorrow or let's say in the next couple of days, okay? If you also want to have access to past presentations we've had on the webinar, there is a YouTube channel we have, the Aspire for Excellence Foundation YouTube channel. Click on it. Also, it's also in the chat box. You have access to what we did last month on resilient strategies to cope with the tough times we are in, and other materials will be uploaded there. Okay, and I guess that is where we are. I guess we can start to take some questions right now. Okay, we have some hands up already, and we begin with Favor. We have 4 hands up already. Favor Ijoma, your hand is up first. Okay, you've just brought your hands down. Rebecca Ezebo, could you please unmute and ask your question, please? Rebecca Ezebo, please.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Rebecca.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the talk. My own question is this: you said when you are starting up a business for the first time that it's advisable to use from your savings, then from family and friends. But we find out that it's so difficult getting family and friends, not because of the issue of trust now, but the issue of time seems to be difficult for everybody. Then this the one you talked about, angel, getting people, somebody that wants to invest, is so difficult getting such. I've not had the opportunity of getting such. So at the end of the day, I may have to fall back to the banks. And like you said, the banks, getting loan from the banks is not, it's if you're not careful, you may just end up being discouraged. So when somebody if you find yourself in such situation, what do you do?
Thank you very much for your question. Very practical. Everybody is going through tough times. Okay. Like I shared the experience I had when I wanted to raise money for myself in Ibadan. And I told you that even my uncle's son gave me 500 naira. That's small. Let's assume you need 1 million naira to start a business. Okay. Now, if you go to one person or two people to ask them for 500K each, you may likely not get it. But now just imagine if you go to, let's say 200 people in your network that have that amount, and you ask them to lend you 100, how much? 50K each. Do you think you'll be able to get that from their savings? And you ask yourself, of course, not that they should dash you. I don't go to tell them that they should lend you money, and at the time you're supposed to pay back, you now start telling them stories. And that's why I talked about your what they call it. What's your social credit? What's your social currency like before then? Before you came to collect the money from them, you build trust. When people trust you, when your family and friends can trust you, they will give you money. They may not have that amount you are looking for. Let me tell you what will happen. You come to me as your friend and ask me, please, Ore, or my friend, can you give me 20K as a loan? I have so and so I want to go into. I've been able to raise almost all of them. I just need 20K to complete it. If I'm your friend and I have the 20K to give you as a loan, I will give. But if I don't, you can actually ask me, how much can you avail me? I can tell you, I don't have 20K, but I can give you 5K. Thank you so much. Give me the 5K. After a month, I'll pay you back. Now, you collect 5,000 from me. It means that you have to go and look for another friend or family member to balance you the remaining 15K. So either you take 3 people to give you 5,000, or one person that will give you this. Do you understand the way I'm sharing the dynamics that is
Yes,
playing
yes,
out?
yes, yes. I'm
You
getting
don't
you. I'm
you
getting
don't
you.
one person. Nobody has it. We all have our challenges in life. But you can see that if you spread it, the potential of getting more is higher. Now imagine this. At the set time, or even before it, you collect their 5,000 naira and give them. Sorry, I've gotten your 5,000 naira back. Sorry, I delayed it by one day. Can you give me your account number for me to pay over? Guess what will happen? Because you have passed the credibility stage, if the person is buoyant, the person will say, no problem, no need, no need. Thank you very much. Just take it. It's a gift that I'm supporting your business with it. If they collect it back, thank God. It means that next time you come to them, they will still give you. If you don't collect it back, they have given to you as free. You have still passed the credibility stage, but at least you are getting. If you were needed 1 million naira, I guarantee you, by the time you reach out to all the people on your contact list, small amounts of money, there's no way either you get the 1 million naira or you surpass it. If you're unable to do that, then check your credibility with them in the past. What image do they have of you? Then you need to start building your image with them, because social currency is in fact, it's more important than money. My people, I come from the Igbo tribe. They will say that he who has people is wealthier than he who has money. Social currency. So that's the best place to look for money. Number one is at low pressure. Number two, they're not you can buy time. You can buy time with family and friends easily than with banks, where for future is imminent if you are not paying as at when due. Then you talked about angel investors. Like I said, see, it's not like there are people that are money, I call them money bag in this nation, that have money, and they're looking for places to invest their money into. You will have to let them know that you have the solution they need. I went to somebody and I told the person, that I needed 200K to add to my business then when I was starting newly. And the person said, that he has so and so amount of things he's doing with money, that he cannot, somebody said that, okay, I didn't get that. So the person said he has so many things he's doing with money that he cannot avail me that. And I said, what if I give you back within 1 month, just 200K, and I'm going to give it to you with so and so amount? Imagine that. The person was interested. I said, I should tell me more. How? I said, avail it. All the processes, all the procedures, my success stories, my journey, I will carry you along in it. And when it was time, truly, the profit I made from that 200K was a lot more. My agreement with him was that amount, and I availed it. So today, trust was established.
All right, thank you very much.
So,
let's take
investors on your streets, in your neighborhood, in your business, you will have them. Look for them, you will find them. Okay? To your success.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's take another person. Vien, your hand is up, please. Wait, Vien, your hand is up, please. Can you ask your question, please?
Okay, hello and good evening, everyone. The person that I don't know put a smile emoji. Yeah, kind of on that person's part. And when you said having friends and family and borrowing money from them, it sounded a bit laughable because from our own, I'm not saying what you're saying is not viable, but from experience, I think we tend to have this entitlement mentality, and people tend to think about themselves only. So when people come, like for me, I'm a diaspora, and as I'm speaking from experience, people come like 10 people at a time, which obviously they don't know about this, but when they come asking for help, they think about themselves. Oh, please, can you give me 1 million? Can you give me 2 million? Like you're plucking the money here. And they never say this thing you're saying, oh, we'll give you interest, or we'll pay you back. They are the ones that will even plan the payment period, not even carrying you along. Oh, we'll pay you back in 2 years' time. We'll pay you back in 18. I was like, oh, you are the borrower. You are the, how do you say it? The one making the plans and everything. You never even think about what the person is even going through, as well. So my question is how, even though someone, wants to be credible or wants to be trusted, and they give you those words or sweet words, I'm just speaking from experience here. I'm not saying everyone is a liar or is not trustable, but if the person fails, how do you cushion that? What do you, because if you end up giving that person money, because like I say, I don't give anybody that says I want to borrow money. I don't. I just cancel that person off. I give the person what I can and not expect it back, so that I don't have any blood pressure, if you get what I mean. So I just say, I don't have what you're looking for, but I will come in and see, where I can help. And if I cannot help, I cannot help. But when you trust somebody and give that person that money and the person doesn't pay back, how do you cushion that?
All right, thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much. When I was in the banking institution, before we lend somebody money, there are some things we must check out. 1, does this person have the capacity to pay? 2, does this person have the character? 3, does this person have the credibility? Does this person have the competence? These are things you, the lender, must do your due diligence on. Let me give you an example. As a lush vendor and darling attachment vendor, I service the saloon saloon owners, and sometimes some of them come to collect credit line from me in terms that they collect whatever they want to do, the products they want on a credit line basis. Before I avail them the credit line, I look at their shop. Does this person have what I can seize in case there's a default? You understand what I'm saying? So you, the lender, must do your due diligence. Please have a written agreement. When I entered into the haulage industry, when my husband traveled abroad, and he left that business for me to manage, the rider of the truck, because the truck was assigned to 7-Up to carry mineral from Lagos to, I think, Ibadan or so. Every time they will come to me collecting money, and I was like, this business is not yielding. Instead, I'm the one losing. Finally, they stopped paying into the account. And when I called him, I was like, what's that guy's name again? I think Bala. What happened? I'm not receiving payment again. And I told me, Modu, the other driver, the co-drivers, told him that the truck, that is the DAF truck, as at that time, they were talking about 14 years ago, DAF, what 5 point something million then, that he had an accident, Benin, and is impounded. When I took Bala to stay in Kenya area air police, who didn't I get to know that period? The first thing the police officer asked me, was there a written agreement? I gave him, or we as a couple gave Bala our truck on trust. So that's like us handing 5 million naira to Bala on trust because we knew him. But Bala didn't have the capacity to pay us back. I knew his house. Do you understand? So these are the due diligences you must do in case things go south, which is human behavior. If you don't, none of us can predict the future. But at least you should be able to protect yourself to an extent. Then the written agreement, so in case push comes to shove, they can hold him accountable what he has written down. So okay, he's committed to paying so that is what he wrote. Written agreement. Number 2, does the person have any property you can take hold on to sell off, at least to regain whatever that you are bound to lose halfway, so your notice will be cut short? These are things you check out for. What is the person's character? Anybody that have collected money from somebody before and didn't pay will collect from you and will not pay. So these are things you check. Before I give somebody money, I don't just get to know their house. I get to know somebody on their streets. Find out what do people think about this person? Who do you know? What do you think about this person? All through my 12 years of banking experience, the only bad loan I booked, I keep saying it to tomorrow, Mr. BMK Industries, came to me under the guise of, brother this, brother that, and that was how I was deceived. I let my guards down. And that was the only one I did. So you have to be on point. Your money is your sweat. Whoever you are giving your money to must tick these boxes before you part with it. Okay? And please, if you are going to collect money, also ensure that your boxes are also ticked well, because that guarantees you the ability to get it. When I go to collect money from somebody will get to know my house. What does Ijoma have? Ijoma has this, Ijoma has that. So if push comes to shove, I know I can collect her car. I can, even if I don't want to use police, I can use thugs and collect the money by force. And resell it and get my money. Do you understand the point I'm making? I don't know if I'll be able to address it.
All right.
In any way.
Thank you very much for the points you've made. We just have like 2 or 3 more people, and that will be all. The next is Franklin Lotana. Franklin, please, could you ask your question? For the person who is asking for the YouTube and the WhatsApp, check the text. You can check the chat box, you will see it. Or John Chukwemeka, can you repost the WhatsApp and the YouTube channel in the chat box? Franklin,
Okay,
go ahead with
evening,
your question. Yeah.
All right. Good evening, all. Thank you very
Good
much,
evening.
Ma.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma, for your wonderful presentation. My question is, in a situation whereby you borrowed money from family and friends in order to start a business, I will use one business as an example, something like venturing in agriculture. Okay, so you now invested probably in something like cassava and maize. Then after planting and investing money that you collected from people, from family and friends, and you had something like herdsmen invading the farm, getting everything destroyed, what would you do? What would be your starting? What would you just do from that point? Thank you.
Very interesting question. To answer you, let me tell you a story. I started a farm in Kogi State last year. Okay, we started 2 years ago with the land clearing, everything. Last year we planted. And over 300 hectares of land, mechanized, planted cassava, maize. What we harvested, how much that was plugged into that, vis-a-vis what was harvested. And guess what? As I was driving, I was showing my contract employer. I was on video showing her the cattle that was sitting on Governor Otom's land because it was a neighboring farm, eating away the cassava. And in my mind, I was like, what? So this is, if care is not taken, this is our future. I'm looking at the picture of our future there. Now, if this were to be your case, I will tell you, when you borrow money from family and friends, please do not lie to them. Let them know what is imminent, what the probability, the risks associated with agriculture. Do you understand? Don't promise what you can't deliver. You can't predict agriculture. In fact, the reason why of all the businesses or the sectors that I practice, I just ventured into animal husbandry, that's poultry once, and had a very nasty experience with it. Fear made me, I didn't go back to that again. Anything, I studied it in school. First degree, second degree, it didn't even last up to 1 year, and I left. I never entered this because we're dealing with living things. You can't predict it. Pestilence can adapt it, drugs can adapt. So this we're talking about X-Men is even the least. It can be controlled. If the government have it, there are some things that you don't have control of when it comes to agriculture. This is the reason why even with banks, when it comes to agricultural loan, your repayment, the way we structure your loan repayment in agri loan is different from commercial loans. So vis-a-vis, if you are collecting money from family and friends, please don't overpromise them. Let them know that these are challenges that can come up. Then you, please ensure that your farm, your farm is insured. Your farm is insured. The reason why people lose is because they don't insure. There's still insurance going on in Nigeria, and they are very good. Insure your loans. Insure your agri businesses. We have agricultural banks. Insure it. When you insure it, your losses are reduced. And even when they pay you the premium that is due you, at least you can have something to be able to pay back people with. Let me give you an example. Do you know that if you collect, let's say, 2 million naira from a family member, and the business goes south, and you're able to come to the family member and say, please, oh, everything, I lost everything. But with the money insurance gave me, I can give you 500,000 naira while I work out on other ways of paying you. You can decide to take a side hustle for your, to raise funds. You can decide to take a paid employment to be able to save up salary, and you'll be paying back small. Commit to that repayment. Then when you're unable to do, please go back to the person that lent you the money and explain. The problem we have is that sometimes when people collect money, they tighten their belt and be like, I am not the only one that borrows money. Even federal government owes. And with that attitude, why would somebody give you money in future? So you forget that it's a seed you are sowing. Yes, you didn't pay back person A, you've sown a bad seed to that person, and you expect to go to person B and collect. Oh, no. At least I believe in seed and harvest times. So except the person is, doesn't know what he is doing, commit to paying back your loan. So no matter how small it is, a whole lot of side hustles I did, some business I did, where I did that to be able to raise quick monies here and there. I didn't venture it for the long haul. I've had over 26 business experiences, even down to selling fruit salad to banks on the whole of Mobolaji Bank Anthony and the whole of streets in GRA. Oh yes, I did that as a side hustle business because I need to raise money to be able to make up the capital expenditure required to register as a distributor. I didn't have that as my own, sitting in my bank. So while I was doing my normal businesses or even my normal job in the bank, I was doing other businesses. So little monies that come from those areas, I was able to repay. Now, aside from this, there's something I will also let you understand. Before a bank is able to give you money, let me tell you what we do then in the bank. I'm sure they're still using that. Whatever is your ability, your capacity to pay, the money, your fixed earnings, either business earnings or salary, they divide it by 3. They can only give you 1/3 of it. You allow you to feed on 2/3. For me personally, I tell myself, whatever is my salary, I divide it into 3. I save 1/3. I depend on 2/3. That 1/3, I compound it as savings towards my future businesses. So if you have borrowed money for your agriculture, for some people, and the business went south, please find a side hustle to do. Please get a side job to do. Anything you can do, diversify your income portfolio. the ruminants, what they call it, the things that were destroyed in your farm by pestilence can be recycled and sold. Everything is not lost. Everything can be lost. And with the herdsmen, in Kogi State, for example, to protect ourselves in the farm, we had to pay security services. It was a huge investment, but my principal employer ensured that was done. We paid security people to follow us into the farm, protect the farmers, protect me when I come to check whatever they need, and she kept doing that consistently throughout the time I was there till I left back for Lagos. So if this is an investment, because this is our reality, and this is the reason why the cost of food is expensive, because someone will not go and expend this so much to protect the farmers, and you tell the person to charge the same amount as he charged last year. He can't. The cost goes back to the cost of food. Okay? So please, I hope I've been able to answer your question.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take the